Welcome back to Keys to Crypto with Krypto Playboy. This is me. Now, in this episode, covering with you guys at DeFi lending risk. And DeFi is the place you want to be in for earning some crazy returns in there, even just a passive income. But it does come with some risks. So you do have to be very careful when you're entering this space, as you can get burned very quickly if you're not careful of your surroundings in there. Really, the best way of explaining DeFi lending is you're giving out your coins in there, and you're going to be earning a return. A lot of the time it's done through liquidity pools, farming, staking, you name it, it's there. So check out the Keys to Crypto video on that, and it'll explain in detail how they are and how they work. Now with this, low risk. You must be very careful, as there's some scams out there. The market is very volatile, as we know, and crypto is unregulated, so you must be very careful when you're working your way through DeFi. But when you get through there, you're going to love it because opportunities are everywhere and you can make some life-changing money, even just another side income you can make through DeFi lending. So I'm going to give you some of the risks you should really keep an eye on. One is impermanent loss. Now, this is a hard one to wrap your head around the first time you hear about it because they're like, what is impermanent? Doesn't even sound like an English word. But it's not permanent loss because obviously prices are fluctuating, things can always change. And keep in mind, this is really to those AMMs, which is automated market maker. And when you put money into them, it works in a liquidity pool, and liquidity pools must be balanced. So you have to have 50-50 amount of the same. If I say I have a liquidity pool with ETH and USDT, and I need to have $1 of ETH, I need to have $1 of USDT. $100 of ETH I'm putting in, I have to put 100 USDT in. It has to be balanced. So what happens in those liquidity pools, people buy ETH, there's less ETH in the pool. Now there's more USDT in the pool. It has to keep the same value, so the price of ETH will go up. You see what I mean? But there's less ETH in the pool now, but there's more value in it. That makes sense. The best way of explaining to you, nice simple term, permanent loss is when the price of your crypto you have locked in the liquidity pool changes for the worse. Now you have an unrealized loss. That's impermanent loss for you. And it does happen, and it can sneak up on you very quickly. So I thought to explain this to you guys, I'll give you an example, as that's the best way of explaining impermanent loss. You can wrap your head around it very quickly by reading the next one. So this example, I've taken ETH and USDT pool, and say you're depositing 50 ETH, and each ETH is worth $1,000. You must deposit 50,000 USDT as well. Just fill that up so it's balanced. 2 months later, you're going to get pull out the ETH and USDT because you want the money back. You'll need that for something else you're doing in your life. ETH is now $2,000 a coin. All right? And after the AMM's worked its magic, it's balanced everything out, guess what? You now only have 35 ETH to pull out and 70,710 USDT, which is a total of $140,710. Now, if you just held your original balance of 50 ETH, 50,000 USDT, you'd have $150,000 value at this current rate, just holding it. But because of liquidity pool, even though you're earning, this is not including your interest on it, you earn a bit of interest in there for being a liquidity provider, you now only have $140,000 in value. So you've lost almost $10,000 in value there. This is by impermanent loss, it can sneak up on you very quickly. You be careful of these things because those pools can really sting you when the balancing goes against your favor. So really keep this in mind, guys, if you're going to be getting involved in these. Way to try to minimize some risk in them is kind of avoid those pairs where there's new coins coming out and it's paired with another token. That can be a risk. Look at doing stable coins, as they do have a bit of a balance. You're probably going to earn less returns on them, but it is a bit more stable for you in a return. Just please be very careful on that. Now, this is a blunt and obvious one for you guys, is rug pools. They happen everywhere in crypto, okay? And you've got to be super careful of them because what they can do is they can create liquidity pools in there. The developer creates them, and he has a backdoor on a smart contract. As we know, all liquidity pools are run by smart contracts, blockchain smart contracts. That's how it works. Now, this smart contract controls everything you do in there, controls the funds. What do? They create a backdoor through here. And there's enough funding in liquidity pool, they can divert it out and do what they want with it. Things can happen. They can even buy the liquidity from the pool. Now they're holding the coin. What happens? It crashes the value, but they're holding the rest of the liquidity. And that's what happens to these people. You've got to be super careful of them. And again, if you're getting into this, start with the stable ones you've seen out there. Start with the ones that are well known. They've been established for years and running. Put them into that. You're not going to get a great return as compared to other ones, but you can still earn some passive income in it. Do be careful of some of the newer ones, especially new coins that are just starting. They've only been around for a couple of days or a couple of weeks. And you see them up there and they're earning this crazy interest, like, yes, unlock my liquidity pool into that. I'm a liquidity provider. Yes, look at the returns I'm earning. What happens? They build up this massive pool. Sometimes this is millions of dollars. We're talking about hundreds of millions. They build it up, they do the Harry Holt, and they take your money and run. You've got to be very careful about this because when they disappear, blockchain, unregulated, They'll never be seen again. All right. There are some vigilantes that will help track them down, but you never want to be in that situation where you're losing all the money. So again, putting it into this, don't put all your eggs in that one basket. Spread it out, please, guys. Be safe. Think ahead. Think for those losses in case they do happen. Can you take that? Like if that loss happens, can you stomach that and be like, yep, I can take this one on the chin, no problems? Or is it going to wreck you if it happens now? You don't want to be that person that's wrecked by this one trade or this one deposit into a liquidity pool. Please be very careful when you're doing this. One of the best examples of a rug pull was in 2020. SushiSwap developer Chef Nomi liquidated Sushi token after raising over $1 billion. $1 billion. Took it, disappeared. $1 billion ripped out of it. That is a lot. Now, after that happened, what do you think happened to the price of Sushi swaps? It plummeted. Plummeted to almost nothing, like $0. Obviously, it's kind of regained some traction now, building up something for itself again. But when that happened, that was huge. $1 billion. That's one of the that was the defining factor of be careful of DeFi. Very, very dramatic. All those involved, yes, they were burnt on it. They would have hurt badly. You got to be careful of these things, and it's a good reminder to say this can happen even to established coins out there. So keep an open mind about this and always be alert that these things can happen. Right? Don't get caught up in it. Don't get burnt like that because it's a horrible feeling. Other risks you need to really be careful about. DeFi is in its infancy. It's only just starting, only new. So there's always going to be scammers out there. There's always things happening. You've got to be really careful and always on your toes in the industry and don't just chuck everything into it. Remember, it's unregulated industry. It's hard to get things back. It's not like you're going to your bank over here in Australia, wherever you're from, put your money in and say, oh, sorry, I deposited the wrong account. Can you fix it up for me? It doesn't happen that way. It's gone. Once it's locked up in that pool, they take it from you. You're not getting it back. And not regulated. That's one of the biggest things you got to keep in mind. It's not regulated. Whatever you're doing is at your risk. It's completely on you if you do this. So do be careful of that. I know this every time I enter into any of these. It's on me. I can't blame no one else but myself. Keep that in mind. Now, other thing happens. You don't think this will happen to you, but it does happen. People lose their private keys. This could be for the MetaMask wallets. This could be for the hard wallets. Which you should be keeping somewhere safe to back up one. I know people that have lost it. And they can't even get into their hard wallet, which is secure for them. Don't be that person. You've got to be safe and keep it somewhere where no one else will find it, but you know where it is, and it's a safe place so it will not get destroyed or lost or eaten by rats or anything. Okay, please keep that safe, guys, because imagine you've got an amazing portfolio in there. You've got this lending, borrowed money into it, and now you're pulling it back out. Put it aside, like, yes, this is for my children's children, and you lose your private key. It happens. And the number one risk, I say, is hackers are bad. They attack people. They find loopholes in contracts and they get into them. Even the hackers and the developers themselves. You've got to be careful of these things. Once funds are in there, they're gone. When they get their hands on it, see you later. Be super, super careful when you enter into DeFi. These are the risks you can take out there. But some ways you can prevent this, well, I got you covered. Study the teams you're investing in. If you're looking at a project and it's relatively new, but they're offering a new liquidity pool and it looks quite enticing for you, look at the project first. Understand the team behind it. Are they a verified smart contract on it? Have you read through the white paper? Check it all through. Because be able to see if there's an audit on it, the audit's verified, that's usually a bit more of a safe tick to say, this could work for me because it's been approved, the team's really well behind it, they've done other great projects with other great liquidity pools that are running, the white paper's showing me everything, the roadmap they're following through, they're kicking all their goals along there, market cap's looking great, fully diluted cap can also work really well, good team behind it, and look at that, they've got a community that's building and pushing away for this. Yes, this is something I'm going to support. You can really do your research. That's what I said. Do your own research. Understand markets and grow and learn in this. Once you do that, these things don't become an issue to you anymore because you're understanding how to do them. And then when you do all this research, red flags might pop up and you're going to go, oh, hang on a second. I'm not going to touch this. Shit. Avoid it. That's what you will learn by doing your research. I can't stress it enough. Do your own research. Listen to people. Take ideas in. Always do their research, and they'll really give you that peace of mind before you make an investment. Just going in blindly, all right. Make a list. Do it on paper if you have to. Do a checklist on your computer. Did I check the white paper? Check for an audit. I check the team. Yep. What's the score out of it? They got 9 out of 10 ticks. 90% of my eyes is good. They got 1 out of 10 ticks. 10%. I'm not going to run away from this one. So please, guys, be careful. Any questions you have, chuck them in the Discord. Don't feel afraid to ask anything. That's where they're for. Ask. I'll help you out. And if you're watching Easy Crypto, bye-bye.